we have a list of questions, and the process is inviting you with a video to share what's your name, what's your company, and what's your question. Now, I would like to invite Nigel Jones from his company Butra Tech. Now, are you here?
Okay, yeah. So I'm Nigel Jones, MD of Butra Tech. It's a new company that's working with a few tech companies from Bulgaria, helping them with their international growth plans. And I just wanted to understand a little bit more about the program, whether that could be defined in terms of sort of phases or the major value adds when people come out the other side. What's the difference that it really makes? What's the sort of bottom line, from a bottom line point of view? So that's my question.
Thank you, Niall. Thank you for your question. I think it's just a very good question to kick off, and probably everyone is having this in mind when applying on the program. So keep in mind, we have Nigel Jones, Northern Powerhouse, our mentor, and then we have Nigel Jones from Butra in Bulgaria, which is again a very nice business case we have on the pipeline. And I'm really happy, Niall, that you made it and you could attend our session this evening. So as I said in my introduction, this is a long-term program. So this is the second edition. You were asking about the 3 countries we've selected. So last year we had Romania and Bulgaria, and together with Nigel Jones and Mitko, we had a full week of conferences, events, workshops. We traveled together. We had a lot of fun, and we met a lot of good startups and tech companies from Romania and Bulgaria. It was a success, and at the end we did select 5 business cases, and we traveled together to Manchester in March this year. It was quite a trip, because on the last day of our let's say itinerary, the COVID pressure burst out, and most of the people were trying to find a good flight back home. So we got really scared back then. But the fact is that what we are going to do this year, and I always hope that each year we can add value and create new things, and we can add even more value and hands-on like practical element of the program, is the fact that, for example, last year the companies, they could pitch to key companies, to buyers and to investors. So the companies actually had a chance in the front row to sign the first contract with a big company, or actually receive, get money from one of the investors that were available in the room. So it was quite impressive. And again, we visited some key places in the UK. You will see it awaits you as well. So this year we made it a little bit more complicated. It's a bit more complex. So because we had a lot of things to learn last year, now we decided to extend the program and have it on 3 pillars. So the main and the first, so each pillar has an online event, but the 3 online sessions and the 3 major pillars are as follows: DAT support for your businesses. The second pillar is funding and granting, so money for your business and how to reach for the money. And the third pillar is sales and partnerships. So this is the third pillar is about client readiness, investor readiness, how to actually grow the business by being in the UK and talking to people, or let's say guys that have businesses that can actually accelerate or give you the first clients in the UK. And you're going to meet some, from my perspective, some incredible people, because when I scratched the program, what I try to find for you is not just the know-how and the expertise, but I wanted to find for you people, like real people and mentors with genuine interest for your own good, people that actually put their hearts into their day-to-day work and actually do amazing things, and they have a lot of success stories on their pipeline. So all the rock stars and all the mentors are people you can actually talk to, you can raise questions, you don't need to be shy. And are people with a lot of experience. You know, we have Mohamed Semik from Deloitte, and he's the leader on the Power Up Western Balkans program, which is an amazing program. Just check it online. I'll send you a link. We have Paul Billington, and he's having now a known initiative that is going to matchmake the problems of the big corporations in the UK with your tech solutions. So he's actually having both the money and clients. He just wants to find a good fit in your tech proposal. So he's in a way accelerating and giving you a chance to start up in the UK. We have Cristian Dascalu, and he's the co-founder and co-head of Gapminder VC, which is the biggest VC in Romania, but as well they have a program to expand in the whole region, in the whole Western Balkans. And they started with A and B seeding stages, but now they want to expand themselves and go up to probably 10, 15 million euros. So they are always eager to find good business cases, and you know, they have the money, they have the interest. All we have to do is present your products and services, and you know, prove them that, you know, we have a good quality pipeline, and you know, it's your role here to pitch, to sell yourself. And then we have the B. Sorry.
Thank you for this answer, but in order to keep the time, because we have huge amount of questions, I would like to
So this is the program. It's the 3 pillars plus the on-site events, and it's hands-on information. So we are not going to go through presentations and a lot of slides and materials. We are going to actually talk to the people, and you're going to you can always connect to us in between the events. So it's not just a series of events, it's a program, and you have full access to the resources. Thank you, Miko.
Thank you. Thanks.
Niall, hope it answered your question. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I would like to invite Christian Ivanov from Agrinizer. Christian, are you here?
Yeah, that's me. Hi, everyone. I'm Chris, and I'm the founder and CEO of Agrinizer, which is a digital marketplace for grain buyers and sellers. And basically, we empower farmers and buyers to easily connect and negotiate deals more efficiently, entirely online. So our purpose is to provide fair, transparent, and accessible opportunities for everyone along the grain marketing chain.
Okay, what's your question?
So yeah, my question is probably rather general, but what I wanted to learn in this meeting is the potential partnerships, sales, and funding opportunities that the program gives.
I'm happy to go first if it helps. So I'll try and keep it brief because I know you want to get through a few. So you mentioned sort of agri-tech, I guess, of sorts there. So just quickly to mention Paul Billington, part of this program. I don't think on the call at the minute. He's doing some outreach work, particularly around Bulgaria at the minute, but it can happen anywhere. There's a program in the UK called C4DI. So if you go and Google that, literally the letter C, C4DI. It's actually an incubator based in Hull, and it does a lot of outreach specifically into Eastern Europe. They have a lot of programs with some of the bigger corporates. They're actually just launching a new incubator specifically on agri-tech. So actually, in terms of actually accessing those networks, accessing potential partnerships, being part of these sorts of events, try to see what your partner could look like, that's a good one to go for. Funding's a difficult one to give a quick answer to. There's lots of potential funding. Some of it's location specific. So there are around 30, that's 30, different clusters of tech right across the UK. So I would sort of start on the basis of what's a good fit for you. So for example, the C4DI incubator might be a good pull factor for you, for example. And then in terms of what the funding is used for, Derek discusses funding in maybe, if you like, the smart money sense in terms of the VCs, the private equity and so on, which is perfectly fine. There's then other funding, which is maybe more sort of R&D, or innovation type funding. Again, you're probably best to start to share, not now because there won't be time, but with Christine to begin with, what sorts of activities, what sorts of funding would you be looking for? So is it more on an R&D type basis to do what? In which case we can start to give you a flavour for what sort of programs are out there. Often it's on the basis of a challenge. So there's a challenge out there for industry and you can respond. Other ones are a bit more specific in terms of what you're trying to achieve, and you might need a partner or collaborator with a university and so on. So hopefully that's a quick but hopefully reasonably comprehensive one.
Sorry, can I just come in on that last one? I think there are a lot of marketplace platforms across the UK in many sectors. I realise that this is for the agri-tech sector, but I think we would really need to understand what differentiates your marketplace from what is already out there. So I think you need to do some research on competitors before you sort of start thinking about trying to get funding, because one of the first questions any investor, and even on a grant, it would be what is your competition, and what differentiates you from that, given that, as I said, the UK is one of the leaders in terms of retail tech and marketplace technology and e-commerce. So just something to bear in mind.
Thank you, Derek. Actually, I would add that Paul Billington is going to be speaker in our strategic partnerships and sales event, and he's running amazing new type of accelerator called Project 808, in which it's like a reverse accelerator in which he actually groups different big enterprises in different sectors like manufacturing or retail, and he's selecting and inviting promising companies from our part of Europe to actually propose solutions from the problems he actually extracted them, and after that the investors are onboarded. After you have one confirmed big enterprise customer, the investors are invited. So this is, according to us, interesting type of model. So guys, Zoran Tadic is with our next question. Zoran, are you here?
Yeah, do you hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Zoran.
Yeah. Hi guys, hi everyone, how are you? I'm Zoran Tadic, owner and CEO of IT Creator from Belgrade, Serbia. We are a technology company who deliver great products for our clients. And one of our major questions is, and we would like to know about, about process of funding and granting solution in the UK.
Yeah, I think I would probably just elaborate on what Nigel was saying earlier, particularly around R&D tax incentives. So I think for any businesses that are doing any form of R&D, those are kind of one of the biggest incentives in the UK, 230%. So that's definitely something worth flagging. And then around grants, Derek, you might have a better knowledge of that area than I do.
Yeah, I was going to. So Innovate UK is probably one of the best organisations, certainly in Europe, at providing grants for. Usually, I mean, it's better for sort of hardware, early stage hardware companies. I mean, it does software as well, but for hardware companies, because obviously funding hardware businesses is longer time to market, longer. So the early type of, so it likes to look at, I wouldn't necessarily say deep tech, but hardware type technologies. And so Innovate UK does a series of grants around that, and match funding. During COVID, during our first lockdown from March onwards, it ran a COVID fund. So it was awarding grants to companies building technology solutions created by the COVID pandemic, etc. So it adapts to the market, but it also provides some significant funding for, as I said, for research activity. It's also a lot of it. There's also lots of funding sort of enabled. We're working with universities, and there are a lot of universities in the UK that partner with companies to research, to provide that level of research to help companies with their development activities. So yeah, I mean, if you have 5 minutes and you want to just Google Innovate UK, and you'll find a whole range of grant funding that's available. They have a big pot of money, and it's a very useful organisation. And my program, three of the people on my team actually have already got grants from that for their own businesses, and also advise companies on how to access those grants. So, so that's something to bear in mind. I mean, if you're looking at other funding solutions, I know in terms of angel and VC funding in the UK has various tax incentives available to business angels investing in technology companies at an early stage. So there's tax incentives to them and it's known as the Seed Enterprise Investment Scheme. You don't need to remember that for now, but it's just that when companies set themselves up in the UK, they make them SEIS compliant, which means that they can then work with angel investors in order to access angel funding up to 100k times however many angels want to get involved, and that can be and that is actually massive. Angel investment is massive in the UK on the back of the SEIS incentives. So there's a whole bunch of things. Too many to talk about now, but happy to discuss those afterwards.
Mikko, can I just come in with one quick thing on the end? And I'm going to be the first to address your answer to what's a soft landing program as well as part of it. So just in terms of, I guess, money, if we're talking about money and funding, which is a really broad subject, and there's different kind of ways to kind of break that down. And we discussed, things like smart money or R&D, for example, and we can help you in all of those. In terms of soft landings, for example, there is actually some potentially, depending in different parts of the UK, you look at some money available for businesses to establish an entity. It doesn't mean you have to move. If you want to move, that's fine, but you don't have to move. It could be a subsidiary or a branch. You can just put something on the ground in the UK. But there are certain locations, certain cities, for example, that will have incentives to say if you set up your business in this particular location, there is potentially money available. And that's usually on the basis of how many people you're employing. I think we're all going to be tech businesses here. So that's the sort of business they're looking to sort of bring on board. And soft landings sit alongside that. And that's kind of about how we make market access easier. So I think at the minute, people might be a bit concerned the fact that, we don't know when you can physically be here, but we don't know maybe when you can physically establish an office. But if you're starting down a road of, well, actually, I just need to be part of the UK. I need to be actually accessing these networks, accessing the right sorts of conversations and so on. You can actually look to take advantage of a soft landing program, which we can start to get a sense of maybe some free office space, some discounted support. Obviously, DIT support is free, but you can start to look up on different professional services, for example, which may come with a cost. That can be subsidized. You can look to take a virtual office for now. So you just get the address. Maybe for now, people just want the address. You don't need to think, well, I don't need an object. I'm not looking to employ it yet. Maybe over the next few months, or you might be. But that's what soft landing is about. And to answer on it, if you like, whether it's R&D funding or smart money funding or which cities are giving away the free money, share with Cristina to begin with what you want to achieve, what your business is, as Derek's saying there. You will be asked questions in and around what does success look like? What's your product and service? So don't go, well, actually, I'm looking to get from you, so the answer I need to give you. Don't go down that road. Go down what do you want to achieve? And we'll try to unlock the doors for you. We'll try to sort of guide you down where there are opportunities. That's probably the best advice I give. So not a complete answer for soft landing, but I wanted to somehow weave it in, Mikko, because I knew you were interested.
It's pretty good answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ivan, can you share your questions? Ivan Kadic from 60 Seconds.
Yes, hi guys. Hope you can hear me well. I'm Ivan from Belgrade, Serbia, CEO and co-founder of the 60 Seconds mobile application. We are reimagining e-commerce through gamification, in which both brands and customers win. And we actually closed our first round, pre-seed round in UK in September in London, and we moved our company. Now it's 2 months that we have incorporated in London. So I know a lot of the stuff that we spoke, but I'm very happy that being part of this. And I don't have any clear questions. It's just based on the sales and strategic partnerships in the future. So we will have, as I heard, that we will have the strategic partnership masterclass. So I'm happy to be part of it and to hear more about the brands and how to be engaged with local retail industry.
Okay, thank you, Ivan. I'm looking for 30 seconds answer in order to cover more of the specific questions. Guys, is there anybody with 30 seconds answer?
I would like to give something of 30 seconds, if you don't mind. Because, the question included retail and e-commerce. So the answer is yes, and we can talk a lot more about that together. So you have Nigel Jones, because together we had, I think, like 3 initiatives so far, like 3 delegations, particularly dedicated to e-commerce and retail. So we went to the biggest North shows in Manchester and Liverpool. We met a lot of people. We visited a lot of key locations for the businesses. And again, the companies were able to pitch in front of big key players in the UK with 1 billion up to, I think, 3 billion turnover. And like N Brown and Shop Direct, so yeah, we have a lot of high value opportunities, and UK is ranked #1 in terms of e-commerce and retail. So definitely there's a lot of work to do in that direction. So do join us for a separate session, and we can talk about it.
You're in a very good sector, Ivan. E-commerce in the UK and retail tech is having a good COVID, which I know is an insensitive thing to say, but it's doing incredibly well. So you're in a very good sector.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, guys. And next is Theodora Stiru from Printivo.
I already received some answers about my question about the grant opportunities. So obviously we'll have a session about it. We are very interested because it's in deep tech R&D, so we need money. But what we need more is actually contact with the right people, R&D partners in particular. We already made some connections in the UK, but the COVID situation stopped everything for now. So what we need is contact with research groups from universities or incubation centers that are working on bioprinting of human tissues and microfluidic systems. For the microfluidic, actually, we made very good contact with the University of Hull, but because of COVID, we had to stop for a while. Hopefully, after New Year, we will start communicating again. So we are definitely targeted at the northern part of UK because they have the best infrastructure there in terms of biotech and all the facilities and a lot of opportunities for funding. But yeah, how you can help us to reach pharma company and even small biotechs that are working on molecules, on developing molecules for new drugs.
Okay, guys.
More specific.
I can try and give a really quick answer. I'm with the detail of it. So I am again something for you to Google here, and I can follow up later on. So 2 things to mention. The first thing is there's a place in the north you mentioned called SciTech Daresbury. And SciTech Daresbury is one of the UK national centres of excellence for what we've called now deep tech. So it's a bit more sort of serious tech, if you like, including the applications in different areas. I've helped companies from the likes of Bulgaria and so on establish a base there. They actually have a program which actually gives you a free office desk for 1 year. So if you want to sort of get the business established, get it registered, get that virtual office, stick it on the website and so on, that's a free program for a year. And they give you access to those partnership opportunities, particularly in that different vertical space. The other thing to say is maybe about a month or 2 ago, I ran a webinar with NHS Digital, which is starting to address some of the areas that you're talking about there. And they're based over in Leeds. There's a really healthy ecosystem, particularly in and around Leeds, which isn't, I guess, that far away from Hull. So we can start to make some connections for you in and around those. So Nick, I hope that's hopefully a nice quick answer.
Thank you guys.
Can I just add something really quickly? Is an organisation called MedCity, who manage the life sciences sector for London, Oxford and Cambridge. So very worth kind of Googling them, and more than happy to introduce you. But they would know all of these people.
Great. I was actually going to say that myself whilst Nigel was there, but obviously banging the drum for the north of England. The fact is, health tech is a massive industry across the whole of the UK, and I know of people in Cambridge and the area that Emily just mentioned. So I think it's worthwhile looking at the extent of the support. The support is obviously imperative, but also expertise is also very important. And I know of people that in different parts of the UK that could help on this. But I just all I was going to say was, keep all options open.
Yeah, of course. But just we received very warm welcome from the north.
Guys, you have more time after that to communicate to each mentor. I would like to actually. Yeah.
Sorry, just a short note, because I'm on top, and I'm connected to all the key regions in the UK, and yes, I do have quite a good connection with the Northern Powerhouse. But I would like to mention that UK is a huge territory. In order for us to be able to administrate it, we kind of had a mind mapping, and we have key city regions. And then we have local partners in each city region that know exactly the opportunities, the right programs, the hubs, the accelerators, the key stakeholders in their own city region. So when you come to our pipeline, and we try to get the best understanding of your business case and have the best matchmaking of your business case with the right region in the UK. It might be one place, it might be 2 or 3 locations. So if more things are suitable to you, then we are going to assess all the possibilities. Now, if we talk about biotech or medtech or health tech, UK is doing great, not just in one region, but in many regions. Now, it depends on you at what stage you are, what type of startup you are you now in process of developing the products? You already have a ready to go with traction proposal, you already have the products, how much money do you need? And that's why I consider MedCity, I consider Oxford's community there, and the sites like Daresbury, that are all amazing and a very great fit. We just need to find if it's the right fit for you. So if you want to know more about MedCity or about sites like Daresbury, please don't hesitate to ask us individually. I have my own hands-on experience with few business cases that the university supports and resources for their R&D projects, and I can say that now I have to brag about it, but out of 8 overseas landings last year at SiteSec, 3 of the companies were from my pipeline, so from our Europe Central region. They were amazing, and one of them has actually been awarded because it's something related to graphene and advanced materials. So keep in mind all the opportunities. We can give a rough assessment of all, and then you can downsize your list of possible scenarios, and see if the North, if the London, if the Oxford or any other part of the UK is a good fit. But Emily, Nigel, and Derek, they can all give you hands-on information and a lot of things about the high-value opportunities. And later this evening, you'll see the DreamX business case with Elis doing the project management, and you'll see that they already have in touch support from the University of Manchester, if I'm not mistaken, MIDCO. So you'll see how it runs live, that it actually happens, and it doesn't take too much time for things to go live. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Probably Luben from Pelericsoft can ask his question.
Okay, hi guys. Thank you for presenting to us. So actually, I don't remember the question that I sent in the email, but I suppose it was something around what is the best approach to contacting clients in the UK when you're a service company?
Yeah, exactly. And Pavel's question is actually how to get UK clients trust. What is the most important for them? Kalina and Maria here just to share their questions.
Yes, hi everybody, I'm Maria Pencheva and I work as business development in Graphisoft. We are a software development company from Bulgaria, and my question was pretty much the same. what is the best approach to reach out to UK clients?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Kalindiev from WebEx Software.
Hi.
Yeah.
I'm actually open to answer on behalf of Kalin because he wasn't able to make it. So, so first of all, thank you for doing this. Thank you for having us. I'm the business development manager of WebEx Software. We're a software services company, and we work with companies from the United States and Germany. And currently, we don't have any clients from the UK, and we're looking to penetrate the market. So I'm not going to ask you what is the best way. I know what is the best way, through referrals. And as far as I know, you can do this. So thank you in advance for giving us the chance to penetrate that market and help the people in the UK to receive like the best services in Bulgaria.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm happy to go first.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now I was going to try and say, I get where you're all coming from, and it's that kind of business development, sales thing. How do you get traction, customers, and so on? If that's a kind of the way to wrap things up, yes, we can help. So a slight sort of caveat again before we sort of just manage expectations somewhat on this. What we can't do is start cold calling companies for you. We can't go to, I'm old enough to remember a phone book, to kind of go through it, start today and work your way down and just call companies for you because they might be interested in your product. That bit we can't do. The bit that we can do and is of interest, and if I use the example before, I think, Ivan, you were talking about, you had a product for, an e-commerce retail tech product, for example. We do, as Cristina says, run a lot of events and activities whereby we're working with companies here, to use my expression before, that want to be world-class, that are looking for different products or services, meeting people they wouldn't normally meet, giving them a competitive advantage, and creating forums either that are already there with some of the key events and activities, or things that we will arrange ourselves. So often we'll arrange some of these pitching sessions, and that is what we did in March. So we'll try to, we will try and put people in the same room together, I guess now virtually, whereby you get a chance to say who you are, what your product or service is, and we'll try and have people on the other end that are receptive to those sorts of ideas, potential selling opportunities. Usually it will be on the basis a bit more broad and in and around maybe feedback about you. So it might not be the deal straight away, but it's actually, well, your product or service, is it in demand? Is it a good fit? Is there much competition here? Is it something that they're already doing? Are they doing it in-house? Has someone else done it? Are they planning to do it in the future? To give you a sense of what your fit is. But if there is a fit and actually what you're doing is, the right sort of solution, and actually the customer's there, then yes. And we have had multiple examples of that, whereby a dialogue is established, a relationship is established, and we can open the door. So we can open the door and we'll try and find a way to do it. And I guess in a common sense, that's going to help everybody, but we get to need to know to the detailed sense in terms of what, because we had some questions there about med tech, health tech, pharma companies, and the other examples there we're talking in and around, for example, e-commerce and retail. So they're different types of customers and we can potentially help. But again, it comes back to that thing about what's your plan, what's your journey, what you want to try to achieve, and who can we start to make some introductions to. And maybe at the minute, it's a few of these sorts of things, these sorts of events and activities, just to get a sense about what your fit is in the UK marketplace.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nigel, if Emily doesn't want to add something, I would like to invite Elis.
Can I just add something really quickly? Okay. Just to say, to Nigel's point, I think, both Department for International Trade and London and Partners do events of kind of matchmaking corporates with companies that we're working with. So we've actually got one coming up on Tuesday with AXA, the insurer. So if any of you are interested in speaking to insurers, then please let me know and I'll send you the invite. We had one this last week with Nike, for example, so a range of different sectors and very much kind of intimate calls like this where you can speak to the client or potential client directly.
Thank you very much, Emily. And Derek probably
Thank you, Emily.
Hi. I would actually turn the question around. First of all, I don't work with companies who just want to sell into the UK, and that's my program. We're about helping companies scale and internationalize their businesses using the UK as a launchpad, but we're happy to talk to companies. My question would be, though, you need to ask yourself, what differentiates you from others who are trying to sell to those companies? You really need to get somebody to be your advocate within those discussions as well. You need introductions. But primarily, just because you're selling to Germany and the US doesn't necessarily mean to say you're selling in the UK. The product might need some sort of might need adapting. It may be less innovative than other things that are on the market. So if you've done all that research, fine. But I just think you need to really go. Research is king on these sorts of things.
Thank you very much, Derek.
Thank you, Derek.